With these words, I welcome Dr. Sanjeev Rai. Sanjeev sir, if you are there, to take us forward in terms of with your wise words. He is an eminent educationist. He is the founder of School of Open Ideas, and he is also, if you all would be knowing, a governing board member of FLAIR. And to kind of sum up uh, and see what direction it should go into, because you would have heard about what Shireen was talking from Facebook and what Dr. Gupta was talking from Ministry, and you would have heard Preeti and Anika. So over to you, sir. Dr.
Okay,
Sanjeev Rai, please.
thank you. Thank you, Ajay ji. It was an honor to have interaction with the experts on this issue. And if you recall the gathering we had at IIC 3 years back, from there and now, I think the group has evolved, and many things have evolved. And of course, during this 2 years lockdown period, the technology penetration has also expanded widely. So I'm not I think this session is more about the way forward. So I'm talking about the context of the children, which many people have already reflected from the parents' perspective. So there is like in most of the families you will find Anika was talking about the adolescents, and several other experts have talked about. So the context of the children and the parental context uh, seems different, because parents always wants to implement their childhood experiences, because they have socialized from those processes which they want to apply on their children as well, and that causes stress and tension many a times in the family level. So the context of children is that they can't, the especially the children who have the access to the gadgets, they can't be thinking a word beyond the internet, no, without internet. So it's necessity for them, no, whether it's an online class or for being in touch with the friends or social events and all that. So it has become essential part of their life. The parents, when they were in that age, in the school age and entering into colleges, we were having television which had certain programs like Bunyad and Chitrahar, those kind of content. And if we go back when we were not having television in India, in UK, in London, the television is started around 1950, and at that time, only limited programs were there on television. But even though during evening 6 to 7, no program was telecast on television in 1951, 52, 53, because that was the children's sleeping time. Children's were expected to go on bed. तो वो उस समय 6 से 7 बजे शाम को कोई प्रोग्राम नहीं आता था, टीवी का ब्रेक रहता था. बाद में खैर वो धीरे धीरे हो गया. So information overload is again another challenge. So can we filter? Can we have some pause time? I think that's one area where we need to improve upon collectively. The second thing is, if I talk about education, more than 4,500 edutech companies have been working in this space, and almost 500 companies came to business during these 2 years when the pandemic started. So, though the data consumption and our screen time has gone up, the awareness which we required for the at the school level, teachers level, parental level, I think is not matching the kind of information we are flooded with. So and another challenge is the language, as you highlighted, Ajay, in some other context, no, on social use of social media, because it goes without monitor. So our own discourse है ना, हमारी जो बातचीत है वो दूसरे लोगों तक कैसे पहुंचेगी, तो उसमें भी भाषा का एक सवाल है। जो मटेरियल बनता है, बहुत सारे इस पे मटेरियल एनसीपीसीआर का भी बना है, एनसीईआरटी ने भी बनाया है, बहुत सारे एनजीओ ने भी बनाया है, लेकिन वो ज़्यादातर मटेरियल जो बनते हैं एनजीओ सेक्टर में वो ट्रांसलेटेड होते हैं, पहले इंग्लिश में बनते हैं फिर हिंदी में बनते हैं। जबकि अगर आप देखें तो अभी जो चलन है वो भाषा को और सिंप्लीफाई करने का है, लैंग्वेज का, जो आप फिल्मों में भी देखेंगे और सॉन्ग्स में भी देखेंगे। तो ये एनजीओ और ये जो एजेंसीज हैं हु आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द चिल्ड्रन सेफ्टी एंड ऑन सिक्योरिटी, उसके बियॉन्ड कैसे जाएगा, to get into the public discourse में वो कैसे जाएगा। You have already identified some institutions, लेकिन उनके साथ एक पूरा dissemination plan बनाना पड़ेगा collectively, कि ये टाइम बाउंड प्लान होगा, उसमें ज्योग्राफी का भी ध्यान रखना होगा, उसमें लैंग्वेज का भी ध्यान रखना होगा, उसमें चैनल्स का भी ध्यान रखना होगा, दैट हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू डिसेमिनेट दीज इंफॉर्मेशंस एंड नॉलेज which have been created through policies, procedures, protocols, and experiences as well. So that's another challenge. And of course, we need commitment from the edutech companies as well, or technology companies and the social media companies as well. The commitment that we won't be doing this. No, because look, for the business strategy, if you look the business strategy, these children are the potential consumers. So most of the companies, the children are part of their part of their strategy as a future consumer. So that's a dilemma the companies might also be facing. So how to walk in those spaces where yes, of course, the children would be growing in this world. At the same time, they also need to be healthy and protected. So mental health is also emerging as an issue, as a concern, because of the internet addiction, information overload, and other kinds of vulnerability have been discussed since morning. So I'm not going into that. So commitment from the technology companies who are making programs, the commitment from the parents, the commitment from the schools, the commitment from the governments, the protocols are also need to be in place, and especially from the emergency perspective also. No, because we are talking all the safety measures for a normal like life situation, but we are also prone to natural and man-made disasters. So so in those times, how these safety nets would be working effectively, that should also be part of our discourse. I don't have much to say, and you can add on.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for summing it up, and for your wise words that says, that exhorts to kind of all of us need to work together and be responsible. May I call upon Satya Prakash? Satya Prakash ji, are you there? Can you turn on your video? Satya Prakash, if you are there. Because we are.
Hi, I'm here. Thank you. So I think I was waiting for the host to open me up. So thank you. And I think I have been here since morning, and I recall the day when Ajay initiated this discussion that we should have, this stock taking discussion. And we heard from Dr. Rai that, how the journey has been, last 2 years, when we had first interaction at the IIC, that was something we were in the pre-COVID era. We were anticipating, and based on the cases which we were getting, that this space is very new, yet it's very dynamic. And how do we really prepare ourselves? And today, after listening to all of the esteemed panelists, who have a dearth of knowledge and experience, and Serene being at the Facebook, that shows that, who comes from decades of experience in child protection in India, heading the safety division within the Facebook. Very interestingly, I think this alliance has to grow further. This alliance, which is started with the same spirit, that we need to have practitioners who are on the ground. Just to briefly say that, currently I'm with FXP India Suraksha, and also closely working and known Ajay, before he started the FLARE initiative. That we also run Childline in two of the districts, one in Manipur and other in Noida. We have several cases of similar sort coming to us. The second space where we are doing a lot of capacity building with the law enforcement department, and the activities or the exploitation which is happening online space is something we are also trying to address. But I completely agree with the professor from Coimbatore that the acceptance and the mindset of the law enforcement agencies, particularly those who are on ground. I'm not talking about somebody who's at the senior cadre. They are pretty familiar and they're aware of this situation. But somebody who's at the police station level, SI, SHO, typically we find there is a resistance or there is an acceptance of such issues. And thirdly, about how much of research and how much of material is being contributed, where we reach out to the target audience, which is the students, who's the consumer, in the economics terms we used to say, who need to be made aware because they are anyway going to be online. And I think last 2 years has, we all have witnessed how their presence on online space has increased, that we cannot control. Second, definitely about the parents, and I'm sure there are several materials which FLARE and under Ajay's guidance, it has been put forward. And thirdly, about the law enforcement and somebody who's at the governance stage, how do they reinforce? Now, one of the questions which Ajay was asking to the officers from the government of India, that okay, these companies, they put forward their compliances, every month, that how many images or such contents they removed. But how many cases or the cases were registered, or legal actions were initiated, which somewhere I don't think that Ajay, you got the answer, so as me. I think there are some learning, which I feel from today's session we have it. We need to sit together, again as an alliance, and I'm very excited that the kind of new knowledge and the learning which has come today. We need to put this together as one piece. We cannot look at everything in separation. And I think Tushar was very apt and right in hinting us and taking on that direction. The media fraternity, how, because Hollywood or Bollywood, there are few movies which has come on the similar line, but they have always kept the market interest in at the center. But how Swati is trying to bring that kind of awareness through her documentary piece, the kind of research she has done, and Satyamay Jayate, we all know, still on ground. We are working in 13 states. We are using some of the videos from Satyamay Jayate to spread awareness among the children. That's how powerful and impact it has left on each one of us. So I think today's session, there is a lot of message, a strong messaging for each one of us. We need to sit together, take them on board, and certainly, Ajay, I can take this privilege of announcing that please do join this initiative, the Alliance, so that we collectively take this forward. And police certainly, because the ecosystem is changing, and human trafficking is one of the passionate area and my organization is particularly working. If you look at how the situation and the dynamics have changed, now from brothel it has gone online, the online sexual exploitation, which is something very new. And I strongly don't feel that the current IT Act is competent who's going to address this, because how this soliciting is happening, the Microsoft and the other web providers, the authority and the responsibility goes on to them. And I recall the debate when it started first happening in US, where in 2018 they got the first law to control this online trafficking activities. So my point that this dynamic paradigm, we need to come together. We need to bring in our knowledge, our research expertise, our field expertise. We all need to have this tripatriate, it's not like a bilateral. We need to bring everybody together and we need to work together and take this forward. So yeah, thank you everybody on behalf of the Alliance. We are really excited. We really need to go, march ahead. And this is an issue which concerns everybody. That's what actually, Ajay, if I could say, in everybody's conversation, this was something which was very common, either be from the government side or from the service provider or somebody who's doing the research, that we are really caring for the kind of situation which is going to be very alarming in days to come. So definitely only the punitive action or making our laws stringent is not only solution. We need to bring this together. We need to create such materials, and I think the last session, the technical presentation was very informative. I'm going to use her, Ajay, I'm going to take her to, some of the police academies and bring this kind of knowledge. There are few organizations who are working in this space, but I strongly feel that as an alliance, we can really do and contribute more. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Satyaprakash. Yes, thank you so much. And in fact, I would join my voice in asking everybody listening to it now and maybe who would be listening this recording or on YouTube later, please join this alliance. And it is an exciting place to join and work together. And we on our website, we have links for, and we can share links for. We have two types of membership. One is general membership and one is associate membership. And there are various general membership. One, anybody, even an individual can become an associate member. An organization can become an agency. And there is a lot to do together. In fact, I don't find any one single organization across the world which can cater to so many problems single-handedly. Not even Facebook is able to do. Even Shireen was saying that they have lots of partnerships and they have many safety partners. On the technology side, it is a technology company. So that is the way that we should move ahead. And I am glad that we had people from the government and people from the NGOs, people from academia, and people from Facebook, and everybody is saying that there is a need to work together, because even Tushar was saying that everybody is concerned about one's own child, meaning nobody wants the child to be unsafe, meaning even if there is a criminal, he may be a perpetrator and an abuser, but most probably, I'm not saying certainly, but most probably he or she would not be thinking bad of his own or her own child. So we need to kind of pull on those feelings of goodness and kind-heartedness of everybody and come together and work to make the online space safer, because it is a space which is very democratic, which aids learning, which is important for the children across the world, especially from the vulnerable and the deprived community. It is a great tool, and unless we make it collectively very, very safe, it's not going to be very useful for them. So with these words, I thank you all for today. I think we have gone a little late into the prescribed and this time. Let us meet again at 10 a.m. Tomorrow Tomorrow we will be having research presentations from data from Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Goa. And Prerna will also be presenting about the book that we have for teachers on reporting and understanding the crime against children. Then we have presentation from Population Foundation of India, which is on their application, which is an AI application to report online child sexual abuse. In the end, we will have Dr. Yatanpal Singh Barhara from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Behavioral Addiction Clinic. So if you all would be knowing, Behavioral Addiction Clinic, All India Institute of Medical Sciences is also a founding member of this alliance, and so is FXB Suraksha, Satyaprakash's organization. There are founding, and we want more and more organizations to come and join, and then let us work together. So Dr. Yatanpal Singh Barhara will be speaking in the end, summing up what has been discussed and what is the way forward in the post-pandemic. Hopefully it is post-pandemic world already, and we are not amidst the pandemic. And hopefully after today and tomorrow, we will meet sometime in physical space. Now we have had many discussion. It has its advantages and disadvantages that we could connect to people from Singapore and California when it was on virtual space, but meeting in physical space in Delhi or in Kolkata or in Bhopal or in Chennai or in Coimbatore or in say Meghalaya, in Guwahati has its own advantages, and we really do want to hold meeting in physical space and we will continue using hybrid technologies if we want to connect people from California or New York or London, and then that person can definitely connect virtually. With these words, thank you so much, and let us meet tomorrow. Thank you so much. And those questions which could not be asked, you can send it on our email ID, info@flairindia.org or info@shicaa.org. And we can have questions tomorrow also. Thank you so much.